Toto bassist Shem von Schroeck talks about what he's doing after his Toto days. And you may have noticed he's a pretty fit guy with an incredible voice, but we're going to talk about fitness and how he stays fit on the road and how his new fan page will share some tidbits, some tips on, well, getting fit. I'm John Beaudin from Rock History Music. Shem von Schroeck has toured with Don Felder of the Eagles, Loggins and Messina, Kenny Loggins, a lot of people, and now, of course, it's been Toto for the last few years. Incredible bass player, but he started as a drummer and still can drum, and is an amazing vocalist in concert and in the studio. We talked about what's going to happen after Toto, if he's got some new material, and wait for it at the end. He shares some interesting things about his own health and why he's in such damn good shape. My wife says, oh, you're talking to Shannon. Oh, say hi for me. No. Shannon, you bugger. How's it going, man?
It's going all right, man.
Would you have plans after Toto?
I've got, I don't know if you know, I do symphony shows, symphony concerts with, I had 3 different shows that I do. We got one coming up at the Calgary Philharmonic. I think that's March.
Really?
The show is called The Vinyl Years, and it's classic rock stuff that we do with symphony orchestra with great arrangements and 2 other singers with me. And we just kind of, have a good time with those great songs with an orchestra. I mean, it's like a magic carpet behind you, singing on a...
You're coming to Calgary?
Yeah, I'm coming to Calgary in March.
We're going to hang. I know you'll be busy. I know you'll be busy, but I'll come and see it. Yeah.
We are going to hang.
Are you have other solo stuff in, you got songs in your brain?
I do. It's always, to attack a full-on solo album is a major commitment. Mm-hmm. I've toyed with the idea of maybe just doing like a release song here and there, just at my leisure, and then compile something. I thought of that. There's a band that I do with Steve DeStanislow, drummer, with David Gilmour, that we have, the Apex. I'm sure you've heard of that. And we're always looking for trying to find the time to put our creative juices together and put another song out. So there's things on the horizon. That is something I want to do, and I'm always writing. So I've always got the thing I'm concentrating the most on is film scoring. Getting back into that, and I did a couple of films earlier this year, and I really enjoy it. I've got a great setup at home with the scoring studio, and I
saw the Robert Ham clip. Yeah.
Those are a couple of really fun projects, and Robert and I work really well together. He's special. He's really great at what he does, and has always a military type theme to his stuff because he's a former Army, and I really enjoy working with him. I really get into that spirit.
You strike me as a guy who goes, oh, I wonder if what happens if I turn this around, or what else is there in music, or you've maintained that curious mind that we all have as kids.
You never master anything. Anyone that tells you anything different is just trying to promote themselves as something a bit better than they are. I really think that you don't master anything. You continue to strive to just better yourself as a person, better yourself as an artist, as a musician. You're always learning, creating, growing, and the day that you stop bettering yourself is the day I don't want to live anymore.
Yeah.
Right? Just keep growing and try to be a better person, and through that, I think your art expands from that as well.
Well, you're an inspiration to me, because when I saw you backstage, I think obviously I saw you on stage, but we were in Vancouver and I finally had a chance to meet you. It's strange. I'll bring Shannon up again. She says, "There's a guy who sees the importance of staying healthy and wanting to stay around." And not all rock stars are like that. Everyone's wired differently. Nurture nature, where we came from, But when did that part of it start for you, of going, I'm going to be as healthy as I can be? Because it looks like that's what you are.
I've never done a drug in my life. I've never smoked pot in my life. I've never smoked a cigarette. Those things just were never on my radar or something I ever wanted to do. It was always to try to feel good. I had asthma as a kid, mm-hmm. and I had really bad, like death-threatening asthma as a kid. And my mom decided to go more of the naturopathic route rather than the medical route. Mm-hmm. From the age of 7, went with my mom, decided to treat my asthma more with a naturopathic approach rather than a medical approach. So putting good foods in my body, when I would eat healthy, when I would eat the right foods, I would not suffer. So I had just an experience and a mentality early on that doing the right things, putting the right things in your body was going to benefit you.
When did you start exercising, though? When did that? Well, how old were you when you started consciously doing that?
My uncle, my mom's brother, was a 1959 weightlifting champion in the United States, the lightweight division, and he won that in '59, 6 years before I was born. But that was always there. It's like, he's a weightlifter. He did this. My mom was always in shape. She was very very fit and did that thing. So it was around. It was being done. My dad was more the music guy. My mom she sang great and was a wonderful singer, but she did the Jane Fonda videos when I was growing up. So fitness was a thing around the house. Sports, athletics, that was just always happening in my house.
What's your routine look like? I'm kind of curious because 3 people asked me to ask you this. What's like? How often and what's your routine look like? Because I think people want to look like you.
Well, if for the road, it's different because you have to deal with the circumstances that are around. I have a hotel room workout that I do. I'm actually going to be promoting that a little bit on my fan club page, on a Facebook page that we just started a few weeks ago. I'm going to do little tips and things like that because people have expressed interest. Like you said, people have asked you. I'm gonna share those things, little tips on the road.
See, that entails anybody who's traveling too. That's the good thing about you promoting this.
Right. You can't. The hotel gym, oftentimes it's just awful. It's like a treadmill in a closet. I mean, sometimes it's awful. So you have to do things, and you can use your own body weight and your own resistance and isometric things to stay fit. And I try not to say, well, I'm going to be gone for 4 weeks or 9 weeks or however long the tour is and come back and be like, oh boy, I really want to stay on top of it. And there's things you can do. You just have to want to. And a lot of people just don't want to.
So understand it. Like I've got the normal house with a basement and 2 floors on top, and I'll come back and forth and I realize I didn't realize how much work it took to come back and forth up and down the stairs. There's a treadmill right behind you that I never use, but that I can do because everyone's got a thing they can do.
Yeah. Another thing too, the recent thing for me is I've made big changes to my diet. About a year and a half ago, I was told I had a little bit of a thyroid issue, and my particular doctor for my blood work and my blood type and my metabolism, everything said eliminate all dairy, eliminate all gluten, and eggs if you can. And it was like, wow, okay, there's a lot of gluten and things, there's a lot of dairy and everything. So it was a commitment, but I've done it, and I've lost 24 pounds, but kept the muscle on. Yeah. So it's really been great. My inflammation is down. It was to help with inflammation, and I go up and down my stairs, and I feel so light. I feel like a 30-year-old running up and down the stairs now because my weight is down. My joints feel good. Mm-hmm. It's amazing. Diet's everything.
That's part 1 of our conversation with Shem von Schroeck, an amazing, amazing musician. And as I mentioned in the clip, he's really one of those guys who's very curious. That curious mind is something you never want to lose, right? That excitement. And with that kind of mind, you're always hopeful because good things are going to come if you go looking for them, if you work for them. There's a reason why he's gotten through a lot of doors. The talent and all the work he's put into it. More from Shem von Schroeck in a few days, just like Steve Lukather. We're going to be talking to Steve Porcaro tomorrow. Hopefully we'll get that up in the next few days as well. Make sure you comment on our video, subscribe to our channel, and share our videos. I'm John Beaudin. This is Rock History Music.